This world is ruled by this particular company, and you may not have heard of it. If you're interested to know, just hang on tight and we'll get there in a few. But before that, smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell for updates. You're watching Luxury Life, the right channel that will satisfy your luxury appetite. BlackRock was established in 1988, and after just over 30 years, it has expanded to be more well-known as an organization that essentially rules the world, managing assets with a market value of over $10 trillion. What exactly is BlackRock? And also, how did a risk management firm end up being the world's best asset holder? Well, BlackRock is a multinational American investment management company with headquarters in New York City that has potential access to millions of common people's cash. It began as a risk assessment and corporate fixed income securities investment advisor before expanding to the point where it has 70 offices in 30 countries and clients in 100 countries, operating on a worldwide scale. Larry Fink, who later became the chairman and CEO of BlackRock, created the company in 1988, along with a few other individuals including Ben Golub, Hugh Frater, Susan Wagner, and Ralph Scholston. The gods may have been so kind to them since this company became successful within matters of months, and by the following year the company's holdings had increased by fourfold to $2.7 billion. The firm chose the moniker BlackRock at first in 1992. The company was in charge of $17 billion in holdings that year, which grew to $53 billion by 1994. BlackRock's purchases by 2004 could push its funds under control to an astounding $325 billion. But at that moment, the situation was already significant enough for the US government to hire BlackRock to assist in mitigating the effects of the 2008 financial catastrophe. BlackRock has been referred to as a phantom hunting Wall Street for a number of years and is bigger than the biggest banks in the world. The Industrial and Commercial Bank of China. It's no secret that BlackRock has a reputation for being environmentally unfriendly. But it's hard to dent the company's reputation because of its large financial holdings in some of the world's most powerful companies. Are you familiar with BlackRock? If so, what other things have you heard about them? BlackRock manages several trillion dollars of assets, handling around 10% of all financial assets globally. Major banks, financial ministries, major shareholders, including state funds, pension funds, and insurance firms receive advice from BlackRock. They orchestrate events all across the world from its base in Midtown Manhattan. They also own sizable stakes in major US banks and substantial stocks in businesses on virtually each continent. BlackRock is capable of making vehicles in Germany, digging for iron ore in South America, and digging for gold in Africa. What has worked a few years ago almost likely won't work now because the financial industry is constantly evolving. BlackRock is well mindful of this. Therefore, they went right ahead and created an immensely potent software system they called Aladdin to aid in dealing with these shifting tides. Aladdin's responsibility is to conduct risk assessment for customers of BlackRock. It obtains private information for significant organizations like banks and insurance providers, and utilizes it to produce the high-stakes risk analysis that clients at BlackRock pay excessive fees for. The Aladdin system, which costs of 5,000 computers, is responsible for tracking millions of trades and examining the customers' portfolios around the clock, analyzing every conceivable situation and identifying potential problems with an amount of precision that is alarming. Offering some really precise levels of risk analysis, this software is so pervasive that it has essentially evolved into the brain of some of the biggest financial firms that are out. Aladdin serves BlackRock's needs in a variety of other ways outside risk assessment. They have access to private information from significant organizations like banks, pension funds, and insurance providers worldwide thanks to this technology. In essence, this means giving them knowledge on how investments worth around $20 trillion are managed. With accessibility to such resources and knowledge, BlackRock has managed to amass a massive $10 trillion in assets, on top of which it already enjoys a comfortable role in the global economy. In industries like energy, oil and gas, transportation, and food, the kinds of things society depends on to function, it holds shares and voting rights in many of largest European corporations. Who then was the principal force behind the creation of this titan? How wealthy must he be right now? If you know the answer, comment it down below. And if you don't, well, if there is anyone to thank or credit for the founding of BlackRock, it would be the wealthy businessman Larry Fink. Fink has a reputation for constantly wanting greater than he currently has, which, coupled with his extensive market knowledge, is a potent combination. Strangely, he only became the company's founder after his employers suffered a catastrophic $100 million loss. At the age of 23, Fink began his career on Wall Street, working on bond structuring and trying to trade, contributing to the growth of the debt securitization market, which both positively and negatively transformed the way loans were managed on Wall Street. The meteoric rise of Larry Fink is riddled with irony, since he was the person who created the tool that led to the economic catastrophe, and he was hired by the US government to clean up after it. He would establish a reputation of a genuine investment genius, and by the age 31, he has become Boston's youngest managing director in company history, adding assets with $1 billion to their bottom line. All things considered, Larry was a golden goose until he stopped being one. Larry would end up costing his business $100 million, and he would instantly become a toxic asset. It seems like an ideal origin tale for a villain, doesn't it? To be bullied and expelled from the company where he had worked for 12 years and earned an insane amount of money. In the end, he would assist in founding BlackRock and grow it into the titan it is today. Of course, there were setbacks along the way, but Larry Fink undoubtedly recovered because of them. He is now worth over $1 billion. So even though BlackRock is in charge of assets valued at several $1 trillion and participates in the financial policy making of the US government, we haven't even begun to discuss how enormously powerful it is. They are more active than what most people understand in a few really well-known businesses and projects. BlackRock has access to Apple's enormous market share in smartphones and tablets because they possess a sizable portion of Apple's stock. Additionally, they own stock in Microsoft, another behemoth in the computer sector, demonstrating to everyone that you don't need to create a single microchip to control the technology sector if you have sufficient funds. Large stakes in pharmaceutical firms like Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson are also held by BlackRock. It has increased its footprint in environmental, social, and corporate governance, as well as quite a few other highly significant projects in which it has made investments. In essence, they've spent so much money in an effort to be environmentally friendly and to look great doing it. BlackRock has utilized its considerable influence to bring environmental and diversity issues to the public's attention. By using very valuable and unquestionable significant methods like writing letters to CEOs and contributing to initiatives like the Carbon Disclosure Project, BlackRock has reportedly been pressuring the US government to implement regulations mandating private corporations to declare their climate effect towards the general public. That's how powerful they are. If you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell for updates. This is Luxury Life, the right place that will satisfy your luxury appetite.